Hey there, beautiful Libra soul. What if I told you someone is quietly manipulating your energy, your clarity, and even your finances? And their name starts with S? Yes, Libra, this isn't a drill. Between December 11th and 13th, the cosmos has aligned in a way that exposes hidden intentions, especially from someone you've trusted. This person isn't necessarily your enemy. They might seem kind, helpful, maybe even loving. But their energy? It's not as harmless as it seems. And deep down, you've already felt that. That strange mental fog. The second-guessing every financial decision. That hesitation in your voice. It didn't start from nowhere. Libra, this video is your mirror, a cosmic call to reclaim your clarity and take your light back. And no, your presence here isn't random. You were pulled here by something higher, a whisper from your intuition, a tug from your soul, a divine appointment that couldn't be missed. I'm honored you're here, and I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll not only see the full picture, you'll know exactly what to do about it. Now take a deep breath with me. Place your hand on your chest. Ask yourself this, honestly: is there someone in my life whose energy feels heavier than healing? And whose presence leaves me doubting myself? If a name starting with S just came to mind, trust that. You're not paranoid, you're tuned in. And listen closely, Libra. This energy shift isn't just emotional, it's astrological. The Sun in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces is creating mental confusion, while the full moon in Scorpio on December 12th is pulling up buried truths, especially about relationships that control how you think about money, trust, and your own worth. This is a time of revelation, not fear. It's a moment of empowerment. Because once you recognize who's been subtly shaping your decisions, you reclaim your voice, your finances, and your future. And I want to say this now, from my heart: thank you for showing up. Your presence, your energy makes this space sacred. Every comment, every like, every share, every new subscriber, it's what keeps the light moving forward. And here at Zodiac Whisper Tarot, this isn't just a channel. It's a soul family. So before we go deeper, I invite you to ground your energy by commenting below. Let me know what sacred number you've been seeing: 111, 444, 888, or just type, "I claim my clarity. I protect my peace." Your words are powerful. They're an anchor in the energy we're building together. And let me leave you with this: be still, and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10. This verse reminds us, truth doesn't shout, it whispers. And if you've been feeling that whisper growing louder, this is the moment to finally listen. Libra, you were never meant to shrink to keep others comfortable. You were made to rise in balance, in wisdom, and in radiant grace. And today, that journey back to yourself begins. Stay with me until the very end. What the universe is about to reveal is not only eye-opening, it's life-changing. Sometimes, the most powerful revelations arrive in silence, not with fireworks, but with a subtle shift inside you that says, something's not right. That's exactly the kind of energy we're stepping into between December 11th and 13th. For you, Libra, this moment isn't just a planetary alignment. It's a cosmic highlighter drawing attention to what you've been quietly tolerating, especially in your financial patterns and emotional boundaries. The astrological dance unfolding right now with the Sun in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in Pisces, And a deep full moon rising in Scorpio is designed to peel back the layers of illusion you've either inherited or unknowingly accepted. When Neptune clouds the sun like this, it becomes far too easy to romanticize people's intentions. You might find yourself giving the benefit of the doubt too many times. You may feel confused after simple conversations, or drained after being helped by someone whose advice sounded kind but left your spirit foggy. And what's more important, you've likely mistaken this fog for your own weakness. Let me tell you, it's not weakness. It's energy interference. The universe isn't punishing you. It's inviting you to see clearly again. That's why this full moon in Scorpio is such a turning point. It illuminates betrayal wounds not only from others, but the ones where we've quietly betrayed ourselves for the sake of peace. Libra, you've always carried the gift of balance and harmony, but even balance becomes a burden when you're the only one maintaining it. If you found yourself putting off important plans, doubting your own ability to invest in yourself, or constantly reshaping your boundaries to fit someone else's comfort, these are not coincidences. They are symptoms of deeper energetic misalignment that this week is finally helping you correct. It's time to lovingly observe your inner dialogue. Are you afraid to take up space financially? Do you feel guilty saying no when your instincts scream to? Do you justify toxic loyalty because you fear what will happen if you walk away? These questions are sacred doorways, not to blame, but to bring light to the parts of you that deserve healing. And healing doesn't always require a grand gesture. Sometimes it simply begins by saying, I see it now. I no longer ignore this feeling. As a guide who has walked through similar seasons of confusion masked as connection, I want to gently offer this. What feels unclear now is actually the beginning of clarity. You're not falling apart. You're waking up. Think of it like a spiritual detox. You've taken in so many voices, expectations, projections, and now your soul is clearing space to hear your own wisdom again. This kind of shift is deeply personal, and I've seen it unfold in real lives time and time again. One woman I worked with, a Libra just like you, told me she felt paralyzed every time she had to make a financial decision. Turns out, for years, a well-meaning friend had been shaping every step she took, making her feel incapable without their input. It wasn't until she paused and really asked herself, whose voice am I listening to, that she realized her instincts were never the problem. They were just waiting for permission to speak louder. You don't need to force anything right now. You don't need to confront anyone or cut ties with fire. All you need to do is gently return to yourself. One clear breath at a time. And if that sounds simple, good, because healing was never meant to be complicated. When you remember who you are, decisions become easier. And clarity, dear Libra, is your superpower returning home to you. Let this window of cosmic truth be your reset, not your crisis. You are not broken. You're just remembering what alignment feels like. Sometimes, the signs are so subtle that we overlook them, not because we're blind, but because we're compassionate. Libra, your heart is naturally calibrated to keep harmony, to seek understanding, to see the best in others. And yet, in that pursuit, it becomes incredibly easy to mistake manipulation for care, and control for concern. That's why the guidance from the cards is coming through so clearly right now, not to alarm you, but to awaken you to what your spirit already knows. The High Priestess appears as a sacred reminder. You already feel the truth. You felt it for some time. That uneasiness in your gut, the way you second-guess your thoughts after certain conversations, or how your confidence dips when someone advises you out of your own clarity. This is not random. This is not weakness. This is your inner compass being bent slightly off course every time you silence your intuition just to keep peace. And while keeping peace is noble, Libra, sacrificing your inner knowing for it is not. Then comes the Justice card, your essence. It shows up not as a warning, but as a mirror. Justice calls you back into balance, not with the world, but with yourself. It's a gentle but firm nudge to stop betraying your instincts for someone else's comfort. The real imbalance isn't out there, it's within, where your mind tells you to be polite, but your energy is quietly screaming for freedom. And you know it. You felt it. When the Five of Pentacles appears reversed, it offers a lifeline. This is a card of financial and energetic recovery, but only once you recognize where the leak is. Sometimes, it's not your bank account that's empty, it's your field being slowly drained by someone whose presence leaves you confused, hesitant, or guilty about your own abundance. That person's name might start with S, or maybe the letter is symbolic of something deeper: silence, submission, shame. Whatever it is, it's time to trace it. Not with blame, but with clarity. There's power in naming. That's why one of the most effective energy clearing practices I teach is this: write down the name of the person who causes that heavy feeling, the one whose voice echoes in your doubts. And below it, write this: I don't hate them, but I choose to protect my mind, my finances, and my light. You're not cursing them. You're releasing yourself. This is not a ritual of revenge, it's a return to responsibility. Because clarity doesn't require confrontation. It requires choice. I've witnessed many people in sessions, in stories, and yes, even in my own experience, who stayed too long in dynamics that wore them down, not because they didn't know, but because they didn't want to be unfair. But Libra, it's not unfair to choose yourself. You don't need to cut anyone off with cruelty. You simply need to come back to the center of who you are and guard it with grace. And remember, sometimes the most profound spiritual shifts don't come from big rituals or external signs. They begin in the quiet decision to believe your own voice again. Like the woman I once worked with, she always doubted her value in partnerships until one day, she simply wrote a sentence on a sticky note: I get to say no without guilt. She placed it on her mirror. That sentence, small, soft, became the anchor that changed everything in her life. No confrontation. No chaos. Just clarity. So if you feel this message stirring something inside you, know this: you are not alone. You are not imagining things. And you are not powerless. This is the part where you gently, quietly, powerfully take your energy back, and it begins with honoring what your soul has whispered all along. It's easy to forget how often we tie our worth to what we give, rather than who we are. And for Libra, who thrives on peace, harmony, and keeping the emotional scales balanced, there's a natural tendency to say yes, even when your spirit is whispering no. In relationships, this can look like compromise. But when it comes to money, it becomes a slow erosion of your sovereignty. Financial patterns aren't just numbers, they are extensions of belief, identity, and self-worth. And when those patterns are shaped more by guilt than clarity, money doesn't just slow down, it retreats. Libra, if you found yourself hesitating before spending on yourself, if you feel the need to justify your needs or play small so others feel bigger, it's not a budgeting issue. It's an energy imbalance. The law of attraction teaches that we don't manifest what we want, we manifest what we believe we're worth. If deep inside, you've handed over your permission to feel abundant, then you've also handed someone else the contract to co-sign your limitations. When you delay an investment in yourself, be it a course, a decision, a dream, out of fear of conflict or judgment, you're not just pausing a plan. You're pausing the universe's flow toward you. Money doesn't follow fear. It follows alignment. And every time you place someone else's comfort above your clarity, you energetically signal that your needs come second. That ripple affects everything from how opportunities find you, to how financial doors open, or quietly remain closed. Ask yourself gently, am I building a future I believe in, or am I just maintaining temporary peace that feels safe but stifling? Am I crafting a life from vision, or am I reacting to someone else's opinion of what's too much? Sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it, shrinking dreams to avoid someone else's discomfort, or hesitating to shine fully so we don't intimidate those we love. But you weren't born to be small, Libra. You were born to bring beauty, balance, and light not only to others, but to yourself. I once worked with someone who felt this exact conflict. She was a deeply intuitive Libra who always put her family's needs first, even financially. Every time she saved up for something meaningful to her, a healing retreat, a move, a business idea, someone in her life would make her feel selfish or irresponsible. Slowly, she began tying her financial decisions to approval rather than alignment. It wasn't until she stopped asking for permission to grow that she finally saw growth in her actual finances. Her abundance didn't shift because she worked harder, it shifted because she finally believed she was worthy of receiving without guilt. You're allowed to make empowered financial decisions. You're allowed to choose you. That's not selfish, it's sacred. It sets the tone for how energy flows around you. If this resonates, you can gently shift the vibration around money through color, intention, and daily recentering. Wear deep indigo when you need to block out noise and protect your mental clarity. Use olive green to ease the emotional weight tied to finances. And bring in metallic gold when you're ready to embody sovereignty and shine without apology. These aren't just colors, they're frequencies that remind your body and field that you're safe to expand. And if you're still doubting whether it's okay to want more, not just materially, but emotionally and energetically, I'll leave you with this truth. You were created with intention, by a higher design, and that means your desires are not accidents. They are invitations. So, take a breath. Let the tension go. And give yourself permission to choose a path where your peace and prosperity no longer require negotiation. There's something extraordinary about the way the universe speaks when we finally slow down enough to listen. Not with noise, not with chaos, but with clarity wrapped in stillness. And for you, Libra, this week brings exactly that kind of sacred pause. After navigating confusion, emotional fog, and subtle power struggles, this part of the journey invites you to stop chasing signs outside of yourself and instead notice the gentle confirmations already surrounding you. Sometimes, those confirmations show up as pattern symbols, numbers, feelings that seem to echo louder when you're aligned with truth. That's where angel numbers become more than just repeating digits on a clock or license plate. They are frequencies. Vibrations. Gentle nudges from the universe that you are not alone and that something is shifting in your field. If you've been seeing 444 lately, it's not coincidence, it's reassurance. A divine reminder that the boundaries you're setting are not just valid, they're holy. You are being protected. You are supported, even in the moments that feel quiet or uncertain. Then there's 888, the number that speaks the language of abundance. It doesn't just predict financial gain, it reflects a return of energy, a course correction in your money story. But here's the catch: abundance can't fully return to a place still tethered to manipulation or guilt. That's why this number often appears after you've made a difficult decision, like saying no to someone who's been silently pulling strings behind the scenes. Once you reclaim your energy, the flow finds its way back to you cleaner, clearer, more aligned. And when you see 111, pause. Breathe. That's the alignment code, the message that your thoughts and your path are syncing up, and the door ahead is beginning to open. It's not just about manifestation, it's about readiness. Are you thinking in ways that serve the life you want? Are your beliefs aligned with your vision? The number isn't here to tell you what to do. It's here to reflect that you already know, and it's time to trust that knowing. I've worked with many people who doubted these signs, brushing them off as random. But often, those same people would later share stories of moments that made their hair stand on end, deals falling through just in time, gut feelings saving them from disaster, doors closing right before something better arrived. I remember one Libra woman who was stuck in a cycle of financial dependency with a friend who offered help that came with strings. She began noticing 444 everywhere. And one night, during a moment of quiet prayer and reflection, she felt something shift. The next morning, she decided to move her money into a different account. A week later, that friend tried to access her funds. But the door had already been closed. That wasn't luck. That was alignment and obedience to her inner guidance. When you stop doubting your signals, you start moving in harmony with divine timing. You don't have to rush or force. You don't need to explain or justify. You just need to be still enough to hear what's been trying to reach you all along. That's why I often return to this simple reminder: light doesn't need to shout. It just needs to shine. You don't owe the world a breakdown to justify your breakthrough. Your boundaries are enough. Your silence is power. Your clarity is protection. So if you've seen the signs, trust them. If you've felt the tension, release it. And if you're ready to reclaim your clarity and your freedom spiritually, emotionally, and financially, let it begin with this declaration: I choose clarity. I choose spiritual and financial freedom. Say it out loud. Write it in the comments below. Anchor it in your field. Not because it's magic, but because it's the moment you decide that you are no longer waiting for permission to be whole. And Libra, when you align with that, the universe responds. Every time. When we talk about healing, we often think it has to be complex, like there's a special key hidden in some faraway place, only accessible through deep spiritual work or long journeys of self-discovery. But Libra, the truth is far more gentle than that. Sometimes, healing begins in the most subtle shifts, the quiet rituals, the slow mornings, the way you decide to reclaim your energy with small, intentional choices. That's where your real power lies. Not in the noise, but in the clarity you create for yourself, one breath, one boundary, one morning at a time. After so much inner unraveling, seeing who has influenced your decisions, recognizing patterns that no longer serve you, and learning to listen to your intuition again. This part of the journey is about embodiment. Not thinking about change. Living it. Anchoring it into your day so that your nervous system, your energy field, and your spirit begin to believe you're safe to be clear. Safe to be bright. Safe to be sovereign. It starts with something as simple as your morning. A cup of tea, infused with intention. Turmeric to cool inner inflammation, physical and emotional. Cinnamon to reawaken your inner fire. Orange to uplift and reset your emotional frequency. These aren't just ingredients, they're energetic allies. While the world may ask you to start the day rushing, performing this is your permission to begin differently. With slowness. With presence. With a sentence that sets the tone. Today, I do not allow anyone to borrow my energy. This is more than a mantra. It's a contract with yourself. It says, I value my time. I honor my intuition. I am not here to carry what doesn't belong to me. And when you sit for just 5 minutes with your hand over your heart, whispering, I am returning to myself, you invite your energy home. I once knew someone, also a Libra, who spent years giving everything away emotionally, mentally, financially. She told me, I just want peace. But peace built on constant giving without boundaries is not peace. It's depletion. When she started doing this morning ritual, at first it felt insignificant. But 3 weeks later, she said, I finally felt like I belonged in my own life again. Not because the people around her changed, but because she did. And the shift was gentle, not dramatic. That's the beauty of ritual. It's not about spectacle. It's about returning. If you feel ready for a deeper release, the fire ritual is a powerful tool. Not for revenge. Not for anger. But for clarity. Write down the name of the person or pattern that keeps dimming your light. Next to it, write the behaviors or beliefs you're ready to let go of. This could be guilt, the need to be approved by everyone, or the habit of putting others' needs ahead of your own. Then, safely and with presence, burn the paper. Let the flame carry away what's been silently burning inside you. Speak softly as you do it, I release this. I choose light. I choose clarity. This moment is symbolic, but it's also energetic. It tells your field, your body, and your spirit, we're no longer storing this pain. We're no longer waiting for closure from someone else. We are closing the loop ourselves, in grace. You may not feel an instant shift. Sometimes healing lands in whispers. But over the coming days, you may notice your breath deepens. Your thoughts slow. And decisions become easier, because they're not being filtered through guilt. Remember, ritual isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's how you teach your energy what you're ready for. Not through force, but through intention. And as you keep choosing to come home to yourself, life begins to meet you with more peace, more space, and more alignment than ever before. Libra, if you've made it this far with me, I want you to take a breath and really let that mean something. It means your spirit was ready for more than just a message, it was ready for a shift. You came here not to be entertained, but to be reminded of something you've always known deep down, that your clarity, your boundaries, your light, they matter. And more than that, they deserve to be protected. You've spent enough time trying to hold everything together, trying to make others comfortable, adjusting your frequency so others didn't feel challenged by your truth. But now, the invitation is simple yet powerful: choose yourself. You don't have to do it in a loud or dramatic way. You just have to mean it. Because when you do, your energy recalibrates. Your path becomes clearer. The people who are meant for your highest self begin to find you, and the patterns that once weighed you down start to fall away, quietly, naturally. So let me ask you now, Libra, who would you be if you stopped apologizing for your light? What would change if you no longer tolerated the subtle ways your energy gets borrowed, drained, or manipulated? And most importantly, if you could wake up tomorrow feeling fully in your power, what's the first thing you'd do differently? These are not hypothetical questions. They are soul prompts. They are the doorway between who you've been and who you're becoming. And it all starts with presence, with deciding, today, that you will no longer ignore your inner knowing. That you will honor the signals. That you will act on behalf of the version of you who is no longer willing to shrink just to keep the peace. So I invite you now, if this message touched you, if even one sentence stirred something deep inside, take a moment to anchor it. Comment below with the angel number you've been seeing, whether it's 111, 444, 888, or simply write, I choose clarity. I choose spiritual and financial freedom. Because words carry frequency. Your declaration is not just for mites for you, and it's for the field you're walking into. And please, if this space has felt safe, inspiring, or healing to you, do me a small favor. Like this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to our channel, Zodiac Whisper Tarot, where you'll find more than predictions. You'll find a path back to yourself. This isn't just a reading. This is a remembering. A quiet revolution that begins inside you. Thank you for your time, your trust, and your presence. Thank you for allowing me to walk beside you on this journey. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are exactly where you need to be to begin again. And as you leave this space today, I hope you carry one truth above all others: you don't need to dim your light to be loved. You are the light. And light never needs to apologize for shining.